What is up everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Joe. If you are new here, please consider hitting the subscribe button, keeping up to date with all your bodybuilding content right here. Today we are continuing the Prep Series 2026. Today marks 8 weeks out of my competition and I have just done my check-in with my coach. Sadly, food has gone down. No cardio increases this week, but food has dropped from 2,500 to 2,300 on training days and down to 1,950 on non-training days. It's going to be a little bit brutal, but it's part of it, and I want to try as hard as I can to try and be ready early. As always, I will whack up a couple of pictures from today's check-in just so you can sort of see what they were like, and we will do a little physique update at the end of today's workout. Speaking of which, it is going to be an arm session, which I'm very excited for. I've actually had a refeed this week as well, which is rare at this point in prep, but I've eaten it already today, so I can hopefully use it to fuel my workout later on. So I'm very, very excited for that. I'm expecting the arm pump to be sublime. Sublime! And so with no further ado, guys, let's get to the gym and let's train some arms. Okay, so what we're gonna do for this workout then, we're gonna do all the bicep stuff at the front and then the tricep stuff to finish. Start off with a bit of preacher curls just to get warm and to really sort of get that connection with the biceps, just so my forearms aren't doing all the work later on when we're doing the slightly heavier stuff. And then we'll move on and take it from there. If we get a little sip of this pre-workout. All right, let's go. Ooh. So when I'm training biceps, one of the things I'm thinking is, especially if I'm using like a barbell or a preacher curl machine where the grip is kind of fixed, I think about driving with my pinky finger, because obviously your bicep is not just used to flex the arm, it's also used to supinate the wrist. So that's the thing that I'm thinking whenever I'm doing that, is sort of to try and drive with the little finger, because otherwise I do find I tend to incorporate a lot of like brachialis forearm. So that's just something to bear in mind. So now I'll move on to a bit of incline curls, just to put the arm in a different position, have it behind the shoulder to stretch the bicep a bit more. And then we'll finish with some hammer curls before we then move on to triceps. Let's go. And that will do it for biceps, guys. As suspected before we left the house, the pump is pretty outrageous. Refeeds go hard. So now we'll move on to triceps. We'll start with the push down, and then we'll move on to a few different exercises. You'll see as we go along. But yeah, I'm just in the groove right now, so let's get into it. Oh, it's going, guys, it's going. One more set on this exercise and then we'll go over to some machine dips before finishing out with like maybe another isolation. Feeling really good, to be honest. You know, I'm still kind of dealing with the tail end of this sickness that I had in the previous video, and it's prep, right? I'm 8 weeks out, so I'm gonna be a bit tired, but I do feel good today. I haven't had a refeed for like a good, I mean, I don't even know how many weeks now. So I can literally feel it already, just having this extra like fats and carbs in. Round off the workout now, and then we'll have a look at the physique. right, guys, that's gonna do it for the workout. It was a really good one. My arms feel like they're gonna fucking explode. So I'm gonna catch my breath. And then let's have a look at how I'm doing at 8 weeks out. Oh, guys, bear in mind, I am so bloated from my refeed meal. So give me a bit of grace. With the workout done and posing done, it means only one thing: a cardio. Still on the treadmill right now, instead of a stepper, as I'm still getting through this shitty cold. And I just don't want to put too much pressure on my lungs. Not pressure, but strain, because breathing is still a bit difficult. But then as soon as this cold is shifted, hopefully in the next couple of days, we'll be back on the stepper again. So I'm going to get on with this, and I'll see you for a little banana and shake afterwards. All right, guys, cardio is done. Lovely. So let's just sort of have a little catch up with how the prep's going, I suppose. Overall, it's going really, really well. Did some comparisons, I checked with my coach, had a look at some on-stage shots. I am now almost certainly leaner than I was on stage in my last competition, which for me right now is amazing, but also it's kind of crazy looking back that like I managed to win an overall being, let's face it, like not in the best condition that I could have been. Well, the best condition I could have been at the time, but compared to some of the guys who are on stage, and certainly the guys who I'll be going up against in this upcoming competition, I just need to be leaner, which I will be, because right now I'm 8 weeks out, and I'm as lean or leaner than I was on stage last time. And I'll throw up a comparison here of what I look like today versus 8 weeks out last prep. Now, if I can make the differences that I made last year, this year, from this point, I think I can bring something for me to be really, really proud of on stage this year. I think I've got decent shape, I think I've got decent size for a natural guy, and I think I could be fairly competitive at this show. But I need to get in condition, because otherwise I won't be. But for right now, I'm very happy with where I'm at. I actually made a post earlier today about how, you know, your algorithm feeds you stuff on Instagram, right, and YouTube, and I sometimes see photos and videos of other natural guys who compete, and they're like absolutely diced at like 30 weeks out of a show. And I see that and I compare it to me and I'm like, oh, well, my glutes still aren't in, and I've still got some like visible body fat to lose at 8 weeks out. And I start to feel like I'm really behind, and maybe compared to those guys I am, but then I just have to remind myself, and I think it's really important in life, that like I'm not those guys, and I never will be. I think I can get in really good condition by the time of the show, but I'm not the kind of person who just sits at like 10% body fat all year round. It's just not me. So yeah, from here on out, I'm comparing me to myself last year. That's who my biggest opponent is. The most that I can do is beat myself from last year, and honestly, I think I've already done that. And so with 8 more weeks to improve, I really think I can do something good. And that is why, honestly, you know, when my coach texts me my feedback for the week and my calories have gone down or my cardio's gone up, it doesn't bother me at all. It makes me excited because, you know, he's saying we're in a really good spot, we're perfectly on track, and I've had a couple of other people say similar things to me. So then I'm like, okay, sick, let's push it even harder. Let's do what we need to do to get me there. Because the biggest thing for me is when I get on stage, if I don't win or if there's someone there who's better than me, that at least I can say, well, it's not because I was lazy. It's not because I didn't do the hard stuff. And that's really all we can ask, guys. And to be honest, I think my upper body is looking pretty good right now. Obviously it's still got some way to go, but honestly, in videos and in photos, it doesn't really translate as well because I am so pale. So like I can see details in the mirror that you guys are not gonna see on the camera, but I can see it in the mirror. In person, it shows. And once I've got that tan on stage, it will show even more. I remember 2 days out from my show last time, feeling like, oh man, I'm not lean enough at all. In an ideal world, would have been leaner, but once I got that tan on and I got backstage, I looked at myself and I was like, oh shit, I actually look really good. I just couldn't tell because I'm a big old ginger. But like, I look in the mirror and I've got striations all through my delts. I'm starting to get striations in the lower lats when I pull in for the rear lat spread. My quads are even starting to get some like feathering on the outer head, which again, you guys will not see, but I can see it. And so really like the biggest thing for me is I just really want to get this bit of fat off my glutes and my hamstrings. I know it's still going to come from everywhere, but that's the biggest sticking point for me. So follow along with the prep series to see if I do manage that. And I will happily grind myself into the dirt to try and get there. And that's gonna do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed this, please drop a like, leave a comment below, let me know what you thought of it. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to keep your notifications on so you can keep up to date with how my prep is going. I am moving back to Havant in a couple of days, so I will be back with you later this week. But until then, guys, thank you for joining, and I will see you next time.